Warzone gun tier list. I just did it, but I'm going to do it again. Right. Here we go. So, Striker 45. We're going to start off putting that D tier. Because the UMP, I don't think I've ever seen someone with a loadout UMP. And when I used it, it was terrible. AUG. We're going to put it C tier for now. Both of them. Maybe that one. 9mm in D. AUG 556, slightly better in C. Kilo, A tier. M4, S tier. Car 98, S tier. MK2, C tier. Let's be honest. Now the crossbow I've started using recently. Solos, it's pretty decent, especially with the accuracy. Solos, on a level with the MK2. I actually think so. I actually think it's on a level with the MK2. Because this one actually does damage, unlike the MK2. SKS, D tier. AX50, A tier. Not up there with the Car 98. Absolutely no way. I'm sorry. Dragunov, I'm going to try a Dragunov build at some point. It's definitely not as bad as the SKS. I think it can be a 2-shot in Warzone. Wait, you saying AX50F? We'll keep Dragunov in D. By the way, we'll keep Dragunov in D. It's fine. HDR, S tier. 1911, it's trash tier, man. Sorry, dude. 357, absolute trash tier. 100%. Glock, C tier. You can actually, I've done maybe because it's a drop weapon. It's the first weapon you get. C tier, maybe even D tier. I don't know. Snake shot. Well, I mean, I'm guessing this is a low. This is probably like an outdated list, but we're gonna put it in F tier because it sucks now. No one uses it. Renetti burst, maybe C tier. I don't know if they actually nerfed it. It was pretty good before. What else we got? Foul. It was like a C tier, then it was an S tier, and now it's like an A tier. You agree? You agree? It was S tier, and now it's been nerfed. It's like A tier. You'd probably be better off using an MP5 over it. Growl. It's probably still S tier, but maybe it's got moved down to A tier now, alongside the Kilo. You know what I mean? It was S tier once again, but then it's been nerfed down to A tier. Odin, it's C tier. It's okay. You can win gunfights with it, but no one's gonna use it. Nothing for B yet. That's because we've just got one right now, M13. What is S tier? S tier is like global elite, best weapon, easy clap. Like everyone wants that in their loadout, or at least I do. Car 98, like people sleep on it so bad. FR556, F tier, horrendous weapon. AK-47, F tier. It has to be, man. The problem is it's got a really good TTK, but it's really bad. The recoil means you just miss shots and you just can't hit anything. So you could hit someone like 3 times and you'll never hit him again. Scar, it's not as bad. I think it's C. It's not so bad. You can win fights. Same with the Odin. You can win fights with them. You just never want to take them. You think Growl should be S tier? No one's using the Growl at the moment. Especially if you compare the Growl to the Bruin. The Bruin is a straight... The Bruin is a literal straight, like, what's it called? M4 S tier? Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Okay. Ram. It's B tier. Even though it's technically better than the M4, in theory, I just don't think it's got slower ADS, definitely, especially if you need the attachments you need to make it better. Or it's got in the build that I want. I just don't like it. The recoil kills me all the time. MP5 S tier, easy S tier. Without a doubt. I mean, it's literally everyone uses the MP5 because it's so good. Chaotic Comedy, thank you very much for the tier 1. And then MP7. MP7's A tier. I don't think it's the best Warzone weapon, but it's really good. P90. I really want to put it on D tier. Like, it is only good at close range, and if you try and use it anywhere else, it's just sad. I don't like it at all. I don't like it. Sorry. PP19, D tier. Same level as P90. I feel like these weapons perform almost exactly the same. Uzi, C tier. You can. I feel like you actually win more fights with an Uzi than you do a P90. Depends. You'd swap RAM and M4? No. I might move RAM up to A. I'll see. Striker, yeah, just stay in D tier, dude. Like, this is all just D tier. I don't even know why there's extra ones of this. In fact, I'm not even going to include them. We just know. Uzi, yeah. That is the correct ammo anyway. I'm not going to do the extra ones. These are the extra rounds, but no. Model 680, trash tier. 725, trash tier. Because although they hit hard, you miss a single part of your aim with these shotguns, and you lose the fight instantly. Nah, you're done. Like, you do not survive. R90, D tier, because at least you get the double shot, and you can kind of play with it a little bit. If you've played snipers and shotguns, the R90 was like the meta for some reason. Origin 12, B tier, up there with the RAM, dude. Only at really close ranges, but it is creeping in. It's creeping into the meta. I'm telling you. VLK Rogue. VLK Rogue. D tier. Maybe it's even at the bottom. It's probably at the bottom, right? It's probably down with the other shotguns. Yeah, it's a good thing. The PP19's a tickling stick. So's the P90, dude. The P90's the same. The only thing it's like kind of good for is the hip fire. The VLK scope needs sent here. M91. This is the problem with the LMGs. I'm not quite sure. I know that the MG34, it says MG3. I think is it the MG34? Yeah, these guys are on a pretty similar level, and they're pretty good. But personally, I wouldn't use it. Yeah, too much recoil, at least compared to the Bruin. You know what I mean? Like, if you got the Bruin, then no worries. PKM, B tier. It's up there with like the RAM. Like, you could use it instead of a Bruin. You could use the RAM instead of an M4, but you're not going to. You're just going to use it. Okay? SA87. It's you know, maybe no, it's D tier. It's D tier. It's not quite as good as MG34 or M91. I don't know if you guys have used this in the early game. No, thank you. Holger, maybe C tier now. I still need to do some testing with it. These three, very similar performing in terms of like whether you get kills or not, you know? Joker, oh, we're doing launchers, are we? Okay. Launchers, D. As in, you kind of get lucky when you get kills with them, or at least these two. Maybe straight C and RPG. Pilo Joker, they can sit there. RPG, unfortunately, C tier. With the Stroller. Because they do get kills. Although they have been nerfed recently because no one takes them anymore, which is good. Trust me. No way Holger's better than the AK? Oh, yeah. The problem with the AK, that's why it's an F tier, dude. The AK sucks for Warzone. Because it's got so much recoil. It's supposed to be good at range, right? The whole point is the damage. The damage is insane. But no one can hit anything. That's the problem. And then at close range, your rate of fire is so slow, you just lose every fight because if you miss a single shot, you know? If you miss a single shot at close range of the AK, you're dead. If you miss a couple of shots at range of the AK, you're dead. It's just too much recoil. That's the problem. EBR 14, D tier, maybe even F tier. It's like the Dragunov. No good. Deagle in Warzone, D tier, unfortunately. Just not that great. But to be fair, if the Glock's in C tier, I don't know. I feel like I've put the Glock there Yeah, I don't think it deserves to be there. I feel like the Glock has to go down here as well. Like, let's be honest, you wouldn't put it in a loadout, right? No. It's going down there. M19. I've seen people do cool stuff with the M19. You can get like a really big magazine and you can actually beam people with it. But again, these three on the same level. M1911, small magazine, not good. That's it. And then the Bruin isn't in this list because this is an old list, unfortunately, because it's from like season 2 or something. But the Bruin would also be up here in the S tier, right here. This is where the Bruin would be, without a doubt. So the top tier weapons in Warzone, for me, does M4 deserve to be in the top tier? I think it's got to go down here, unfortunately. The top tier weapons in Warzone, Kar98, HDR, MP5, Bruin. I think that's fair. I'm taking out the M4, which is one of my favorite weapons from the top tier, okay? Alright? Bruin, MP5, HDR, Kar98. Most people would disagree with the Kar98, but soon. But soon people will know. The Kar98 is... It is so good. AX50, not quite as good as the Kar98 HDR. AMAX. Do I not have the AMAX here? I guess it was another weapon that was added. AMAX would go B tier, right here. This is where the AMAX would be. Nowhere near as good as these guys, but just at the bottom. So AMAX would be here. Bruin would be here. If you're using anything other than these weapons here, in fact, no, actually, if you're using anything lower than B, you will lose every time. Almost every time. In high skill-based matchmaking. If you were to go into like, you know, crash lobbies, you'll be fine with these weapons. But in high skill-based matchmaking, if you use anything other than these weapons up here, you will have a bad game. Rytech, D. Rytech and D. It's so bad. It's like a Dragunov. You know what I mean? It's like a Dragunov. It's a 3-shot kill, and the recoil is insane, and actually hitting people with the slow rate of fire, horrible. Fennec. Fennec would probably be B tier. Again, with the PKM. Kind of like the PKM M13. People use it occasionally. So Fennec would be here. Bruin would be here. AMAX would be on B tier as well. I think that's all of them. What about the new weapon, the new SMG? What's that one called? The ISO. ISO would be D tier, I think. Maybe C tier. I'd probably put ISO in C tier. Like it's basically just a bad MP7. The ISO. So yeah. ISO, AMAX, Bruin, and I forgot the other ones. AN94. AN94, C tier. Again. There you go. That's my tier list. I could just upload this straight to YouTube, but I won't, maybe. Second channel video? Second channel video? Maybe. 1 million views. Wow, everyone's so interested in Stodeh, the non-competitive Warzone players tier list. Insane. Oh, C4? C4, nah, C4 will be A tier. It's not that great. Like, everyone's countering it now with, what's it called? Everyone's countering it with explosives, anti-explosive stuff. There you go. That's it. That's my list. I think I got all of them. All the weapons that need to be said. That's my tier list. Done.